chance. Now I got...
It wasn't all right, so I didn't want to go back into that town. I just wanted to get out of there.
Do you actually want to go back?
If you saw what I saw, you wouldn't ever want to go back to. Because I won't be able to drive down the street. Oh, I saw things that people should be trained to see. You know, but I went and did it, so then I'll live with it.
Like a girlfriend said, is it like a nightmare? I said no, because I'd wake up and things would be okay.
And like most people in Kinglake, Brad and Erin have lost friends and family.
There's
Kids from school?
Kids from school that they can't find, 3.
I found them.
Another shattering moment of heartbreak in a state torn apart.
This place was gone within 5 minutes, completely gone.
And we'll be back shortly with more of our 9 News special coverage of the bushfire disaster.
When big news breaks, turn to 9.
We lost our home, I lost my car and everything on my back.
More resources to bring you every breaking moment.
Off in the distance, another house going up in flames.
More reporters on the ground with the stories that touch your heart.
Friends are dead with their children.
Make sure you don't miss a thing.
It's got to be strong.
Turn to 9 News at 6 and A Current Affair at 6:30. When big news breaks, turn to 9.
One of these travellers might be doing something illegal. These guys? No, but everyone should respect local customs. The couple kissing? No, but in some countries it's not advisable. The busker? His only crime is bad singing. No, this is the person at risk, because photographing government buildings is illegal in many countries. Log on to Smart Traveller for stuff your mates don't know, but we do. Authorised by the Australian Government, Canberra.
Enjoy a bathroom makeover in about half the time and about half the cost with Hollywood Touch. Easy install modular showers, indoor spas and infrared saunas. Give your home the Hollywood Touch. Behind the Homemaker Centre, Albert Road, Bunbury.
At Country Manor Bar and Grill, our all-you-can-eat breakfast and lunch buffets still cost just $9.95. That's right, just $9.95. Included are a delicious array of soups, salads, ribs, fish, pasta, roasts and much more. Seniors discounts available.
Introducing a smart new city. It's all new from Honda and it's loaded with class-changing features like an advanced audio system with iPod Connect, 6 airbags, a powerful yet economical iVTEC engine and cruise control. And from $20,490, the all-new City is sure to move you.
Hey Mom. Hi Dad. I think what's this? Pool safety is essential all year round to prevent me from drowning. Always watch me around the pool. Keep the fence secure and the gate locked. I learn resuscitation.
These are simple actions that really do make a difference. So keep watch and prevent your child from drowning.
Keep watch, keep watch.
Politicians today put their differences aside, gathering together to mourn the victims of the devastating bushfires. The mood was solemn in federal parliament. Deputy Prime Minister Julia Gillard described it as one of the darkest days in Australia's history.
The flag flew at half-mast over federal parliament. In the House of Representatives, members stood in silence out of respect for the fire victims. Senators did the same. The Prime Minister wasn't there. He stayed in Victoria comforting victims, helping people who'd lost everything to access relief funds.
Have they given you money and stuff yet?
No, I haven't seen anyone.
Come over here, I'll bring it to the Centrelink guy, okay?
Kevin Rudd became emotional when asked if he could describe his feelings.
Not really. The expressions of solidarity.
And he was despairing on the subject of arsonists who light bushfires.
What do you say about anyone like that? What do you say? Don't know. There's no words to describe it, other than it's mass murder.
As MPs, shocked like all Australians, contemplated the devastation and loss of life, politics was put on hold. Question time was cancelled. Legislation was shelved for the day. There was only one issue and Parliament was united.
A tragedy beyond belief, beyond precedent, and really beyond words. The 7th of February 2009 will now be remembered as one of the darkest days in Australia's peacetime history.
This truly has been a tragedy that has brought out the most terrifying side of nature. But, Mr. Speaker, it has brought out the best in us, in Australians.
Both houses passed resolutions expressing deep sympathy to the families of those killed and thanks to firefighters and other emergency service personnel for their bravery. Then Parliament quietly adjourned, the government promising that the burned out communities will be rebuilt, the opposition echoing, "Hear, hear." Laurie Oakes, 9 News.
The tragedy has touched the hearts of Sydney-siders who are digging deep and offering help in any way they can. The state government has pledged every resource it has to Victoria, with New South Wales emergency crews now on the front line.
The Rural Fire Service was the first to answer the call.
The deployment is for 3 days and 3 nights.
In Canberra, they gathered in the dark to hurriedly fill out forms.
Have a safe journey and most importantly, a safe return.
And join a convoy headed south. More than 300 firefighters from the ACT and New South Wales have now joined the battle.
This is a catastrophic event, proportions of which we've never experienced in Australia.
The Police Commissioner agrees. Search and rescue teams are on their way, along with fire investigators and the Missing Persons Unit.
We've watched with hearts torn out as we've seen the death toll climb.
The devastation so similar to the Bali bombings, the 3 victim identification teams that did such invaluable work are at a new ground zero.
They are very, very experienced, extraordinarily skilled, and they're down there already.
The Premier has ordered all flags to half-mast. Burns units are on standby and fire bugs are in the firing line.
If you are going to go about burning a firebug, you will be caught and you will have the book thrown at you.
The Defence Force has also mobilised 200 personnel, bulldozers and chainsaw teams.
You'd like to make a donation, would you?
The emergency services moved quickly, but the public moved en masse. Every major charity setting up 24-hour call centres.
Thank you so much for your donation and your support, Marlon.
If the Australian public can pull together, as they always do in a time like this, and help us, help those in need.
If they weren't on the phone, they were walking through the doors, people rushing to donate blood for burns victims.
It's the least I can do for those that are in need.
There was even a special service held at St Mary's Church.
God, out of everything that has happened, can repair what is broken.
Denham Hitchcock, 9 News.
And Australians have already donated almost $10 million in less than a day. If you want to help, the best contact point is through the Red Cross. Their Victorian bushfire appeal number is 1800 811 700. That's 1800 811 700, or through their website redcross.org.au. And the Nine Network, in conjunction with the Red Cross, has announced a telethon to raise money for the bushfire victims. Called Australia Unites, the Victorian bushfire appeal will be hosted by Eddie Maguire this Thursday night. As we now know more than any other, the community of Kinglake suffered the full force of the fire. More than 40 people in the town have died. A Current Affairs' Nick Etchells was among the first back into the town.
We just listen to everything just explode, houses exploding, cars blowing up. It's apocalyptic up there.
6 of those who perished were believed to be sheltering from the flames in the midst of a massive blaze at Kinglake.
But my dad got burned out in the car. I couldn't get him out.
It happened so quick. No one had any hope of getting off this mountain. We've lost a lot of people up here and a lot of homes.
Nobody got any warning. That's it. It's just like, you know, somebody opened up the skies and just heaps of smoke and fire everywhere.
It is Australia's worst bushfire disaster, and King Lake is ground zero.
We had sprinklers going on the roof and all around the whole house. And it still caught on fire.
Nothing you could do.
I was looking outside the windows, mate. It was just...
ferocious.
It was just incinerating everything. Trees, bushes, just everything.
It went up. It went pitch black. And we tried to gather the neighbours together, and then we all made a run for the primary school, King Lake East Primary School.
We need to make sure that everyone signs the register here with Sam.
In the aftermath, the local fire command became the rallying point for survivors, most now homeless, all with broken hearts. A place to reflect, to be cared for.
Just turn to the side.
To be consoled, but mostly they just wanted someone to hear their story.
It was really bad and really scary, like watching all the embers flying over the car and all the grass fires and watching everything explode around us and hearing the gas tanks explode, and all that was just really horrific. And
there's some horrific scenarios that are going to come out of this. But it come that fast that there's nothing anyone could have done.
What one local described as the February dragon breathed fiery Armageddon on all before it.
I said to my sister, I'm going home to get the wife, kids and my dad. So I went home, got quick, packed things as quick as you can, whatever you could. So my dad left in his car, my wife left the four-wheel drive with my 4 kids and her, and I followed in the ute.
What happened next changed Ross Lacidio's life forever. His wife and kids ran off the road in the smoke and soot. He found his father's car burned out in a 4-car pileup.
He got in the back seat.
He was already dead by the time you got
there. Oh, I was all burnt out, dead. I couldn't see him. All gone.
You didn't know?
No. He didn't know. He wouldn't have known. It would happen so quick, the flames, the heat, you know, it's like it just...
By some miracle, his wife and children were saved by a stranger. He had to tell them what became of his father.
All my sister said is get Mum's ashes from the house, bring it up with you, unless he died next to Mum and her ashes and his ashes together. Absolute disaster. At least to have my kids and family.
Death or survival was, in most cases, a matter of chance. What did you get in the way of warning?
There was no warning.
No warning. People are saying it just sort of went black.
It certainly did. It went pitch black.
Paul Rogers and his family survived on luck alone. How much warning would you say you had before you knew the flames were coming and when they were on you?
Would have been 2 minutes.
2 minutes, that's all.
That'd been about it, when the wind changed and came up the hill. The wind was so strong it took the veranda off the house before the flames got to it. It was phenomenal.
How did you get in the car and get out in 2 minutes?
We didn't. We got in the gutter. We had 44-gallon drums of water around the house. We were under a canvas sheet in the gutter with a bucket of water. That was it.
Beside Paul's partner, Anne Burgess, the cocooned remains of one of their dogs. Is there a pet in there? Yeah. And he was in the car?
No, he got stuck in the pen. We couldn't get him out.
You're under a canvas sheet on your own veranda as the house is burning around you?
In the gutter, across from the house, yeah.
One of the reasons this fire was so deadly is that people who had decided not to stay and fight just simply didn't get enough warning to flee. This house has 4 cars outside. As yet, nobody knows if they stayed in the house or found some other way to get out of here. It's just a mystery. There really are no words to describe it. Most of these houses are less than a 2-minute drive from safe ground at the fire station. But the blaze came at a speed no one could outrun.
All of a sudden it turned dark, pitch black with all the smoke.
Jeff Blaney stayed with his girlfriend to fight the blaze.
It was getting real hard to breathe. The whole house was full of smoke and that, and I just wasn't going to die through smoke. I thought I'd rather go in the fire.
It was the only house in the street to survive. These are the others. The ones who did make it out of their houses faced an equally ghastly scene on the road. You can imagine driving down here, it's pitch black, the flames are closing in, and they just got into accidents or drove off the road because they couldn't see the bonnet in front of them. They didn't stand a chance. Did you have time if you'd wanted to flee to get out?
No.
No.
I think we would have been one of those incinerated cars on the side of the road if we tried.
No.
Andrew and Nicole Berry would have gone with their home if not for an unusual addition.
Well, the house caught on fire, so we got out of the house and got into the concrete bunker,
Prayed.
which my wife nagged me to build, and I've been whinging about it because of the money it cost me, but it saved our lives.
It's an experience that's changed their perspective. In this, they speak for all survivors. What have you, your house, your possessions, your photographs?
Who cares? It's all gone, mate. Materialistic possessions, they're all worthless. It's all gone. It doesn't matter. We're alive. We're alive, mate. We walked out of there this morning.
We have our son. You know, we can rebuild.
And we will. After the break, we'll be back with more from the bushfire disaster zone.
A small town with a sinister secret.
Someone out there needs revenge.
Can the team uncover the truth before it's too late? All new The Mentalist. Wednesday 8:30, then Flashpoint.
Hey, take a look at these bad boys. There's ugly, there's really ugly, then there's Rivers Summer Clogs. Look, they might be majorly comfy, but they are butt ugly. I mean, even for $3.90 a pair, I wouldn't be seen dead in them. But now, you know, the entire family can be ugly together. Men's ugly, women's ugly, kids ugly, and you can do this ugly thing in a huge range of colours. So, $3.90, 4 days only.
Hammers Furniture in Albany helps people choose the right furniture for their homes. Furniture that reflects your style. Furniture that endures. We can help update your lounge or dining room or plan your new home. We can size, measure and help match your decor. For all your furniture needs, we can help. But then again, that's Hammers.
But then again, that's Hammers. Let Select TV boost your summer with loads of family entertainment, including Disney Channel, Playhouse Disney and more. Over 300 uninterrupted movies a month from the Movie Network channels. And amazing documentaries. All for just $37.95 a month, plus free installation. So to boost your TV with Select TV, click selecttv.com or call 1300 735 328.
Welcome back. Now, once again, we'll go direct to the fire zone and Peter Hitchner in Yea.
For some communities, the search for survivors has turned into a recovery operation, the grim task of finding bodies and identifying the dead. Damien Ryan joined some of our troops going into the devastated town of Flowerdale.
Acting on the orders of the Prime Minister, the military this evening were finally mobilised. 160 troops setting up base at the Flowerdale Hotel, one of the few buildings left standing after fire ripped through here on Saturday. Their mission, a grim one, to look for bodies.
They're aware there are missing persons out there and that they can find deceased persons as they do the searches.
They'll be joined by police forensic teams.
They have, yes. There's a number of deceased already been located and we'll be looking to see if we can locate others.
But with daylight failing, the troops were forced to wait till morning.
There was one that I saw the house.
So we joined a logistics team on what was their first tour of this devastated area.
We're being careful not to go into any of the damaged structures because there's risks to the soldiers, and we've also got to be careful with loose limbs around the any damaged trees.
And still the threat of fire remains as we stumbled on a flare-up.
I want to see if that's a fire and it's a light.
In Flowerdale, 3/4 of the town has been wiped out. Hundreds of homes and other buildings destroyed. Peter Byrne lost everything.
It's a bit like Hiroshima. That's the only way I can describe it. It's like another world up there.
5 people have known to have perished here in Flowerdale, and there are others still reported missing. So for the military, their job will be to search all these burnt out buildings. It's an operation which is being carried out right across the fire zone, and it could take weeks to complete. They'll be searching not just burnt-out cars and buildings. Soldiers will be retracing the steps where people may have run for their lives.
I was saying a lot of people are running for water.
Running for water.
Yeah.
To get into the water.
Yeah.
The challenge the military will face was rammed home as we flew out. The coroner's vehicle arriving to remove the bodies of 4 people found in their home. Damien Ryan, 9 News.
The Premier has announced a wide-ranging royal commission into the fires, while the Chief Commissioner has outlined a special task force to catch the firebugs. Brett McLeod has more.
The Premier saw the devastation of much of the state from the air, clearly overwhelmed by the scene. On the ground, he saw the burnt remains of Marysville, and there he announced a royal commission into the fires.
So that the lessons can be learned and we can put in place in the future as a community all of the policies, the resources and the response that we need to make sure that we never see this again.
Everything from planning to the role of emergency services and the cause of the fires will be examined. And high on the list will be a review of the long-standing policy of fight or flee, in which residents are told to leave approaching fires early or defend their homes, as some who decided to stay were among the victims. Meantime, the Chief Commissioner who visited the fire zone at Kinglake will tomorrow announce the creation of Task Force Phoenix, appropriately named, to find the arsonists suspected to have lit at least half the fires.
It is a major investigation that we will we will be conducting, and it will go on for quite some time.
The death toll is so great, a temporary morgue has been set up. The police victim identification teams have a mammoth task ahead of them, the likes of which have never been seen before in this country in peacetime.
This process is going to take a long, long time.
Many of the injured continue to fight for their lives in hospital. 21 patients in the Alfred alone have burns to more than 30% of their bodies. Dr de Villiers-Smith compares this week to his experience in the 2002 Bali bombings.
This is by far the worst disaster I've ever been involved with.
Brett McLeod, 9 News.
Well, as you can see behind me, a tent city has sprung up here at Yea. It's one of dozens around the bushfire zone, providing shelter for the 5,000 Victorians who are now homeless. It's over to Tony Jones now, who'll take us on a tour to give us an idea of what conditions the evacuees are experiencing. Tony.
Yes, thanks, Pete. Well, the one thing we've noticed in spending the day here in Yea is that the people of this area and the surrounding districts are a pretty resilient lot, and given that they're facing true adversity and probably one of the greatest crises in their life, they continue to remain upbeat. Now, although it's getting on in the evening now, there's no sign of many of these people bunkering down for the evening because for the adults, well, it's not as if they're getting up for work in the morning, and for the kids, there's no school. Their lives have been put on hold for the moment as they try to just look to the future and try not to reflect too much on what's been a horrendous past for them in the last week. Many of these people are taking this for granted too, because the army swung into action today, and you can see that they've erected these giant tents. Now, to us, it might not look like 5-star accommodation, but really for some of these people, it's 6-star, because as I say, cars have been the accommodation for the past few days since these fires raged across the area, and for some, maybe even a tent that managed to be salvaged from the house. If we can be intrusive enough to actually move into one of the tents there. Sorry, we don't mean to disturb you. You look like you're pretty busy there.
Yeah, well, got to keep the water up to the animals. We need our water, so like they can't help themselves, so we've got to do it for them.
Exactly. Now, what area have you come down from?
I've come from Flowerdale, Hazeldean. It's a little township inside Flowerdale. Apparently 90 to 95% of Flowerdale is gone, so...
Your house?
We've been one of the lucky ones to actually keep our house, but our neighbour who's actually bunking in with us, unfortunately lost his house in the same street, so it's not pretty.
No, it's not. Do you mind if we have a look inside?
Go for it.
All right then, you might want to give us the guided tour. Where have you been staying for the past few days before this?
There's been 4 of us sleeping in one car. It's myself, my father-in-law, my husband, and my 11-month-old son.
Oh, really? Is he asleep at the moment, is he?
Yeah, more than welcome to have a look.
All right, no worries. So this is where it all is at the moment. So if we can just come inside there and... Well, you've got plenty of room, that's for sure, but it's not quite home, is it?
No, it's nowhere near home, but... hey, it's better than being cramped into a car. And at least our son's got a bed to sleep in.
Is he asleep at the moment, is he?
Yeah.
Oh, we're not going to wake him up, are we?
No. can't get any better than that,
No.
baby.
So how much long or time did you have before you actually got these possessions ready?
These possessions aren't actually ours. These are actually donated from the Red Cross and the Army, and what we actually have is Teddy, Pram. Not even these clothes are mine.
It's shocking, isn't it? And yet, having said all that, you're one of the lucky ones.
Yeah.
All right, terrific. Well, look, we'll leave you to it. We've probably intruded enough here this evening, so thanks very much. All right, well, that's just one of the stories, really, and I think the gentleman over here, you lost everything, did you?
I lost, the house is gone, my neighbour's house is gone. We're the only two in the village behind the general store that houses came down and took out both of them.
And, I mean, it's just a matter of just rebuilding now, isn't it? I mean, how do you do that from scratch?
I don't know. It's, you know, first time I've experienced such a thing. They said we were safe, that the fire was near us, and then next thing we knew, it was on top of us.
All right, then we'll look all the very best, mate. Thanks for your time and good luck for the future, all right? Pete, that's the latest. Back to you.
Tony Jones reporting there at Yea, and we'll have more on the fires later. But coming up, all today's other news after the break, including at the Grammys, where Paul McCartney teamed up with Dave Grohl from the Foo Fighters.
11th hour, coming in February to win.
The huge Honda sale continues on selected models. You can pick up the 40th anniversary Accord, packed with a stunning list of features, plus free rego, CTP, and a 5-year warranty with roadside assist. Bag a big saving now at the huge Honda sale.
Get with the crowd and rush into TeleChoice and grab one of the best deals going around. The stylish LG Beauty for $0 up front on the Virgin Mobile Cap 20. TeleChoice, the people's choice.
This unbreakable workhorse of a Toyota Hilux is exactly the same as this tough Hilux. Same choice of 4x4 and 4x2 models. Same performance and toughness you've come to expect. Same energy-absorbing front-end chassis and dual airbags. Same price too. The only difference is, one is just down the road and the other is miles away. Northern and Meriden Toyota. A good deal closer.
PVC fencing from Hollywood Touch is perfect for the farm or home. PVC is UV resistant, will not rust, rot, corrode, chip or peel. PVC fencing in stock now at Hollywood Touch, behind the Homemaker Centre, Albert Road, Bunbury.
Red Hot Deals catalogue is out now at your local Comfort Style store. 20 pages of amazing furniture and bedding bargains, all at red hot prices. Plus, you pay nothing for 17 months. That's no deposit, no interest, and no repayments for 17 months. There's red hot deals on lounge suites, sofas, entertainment, dining suites, home office, bedroom, and bedding. Our stores are right across WA, or order online now. The Red Hot Deals catalogue on now at Comfort Style. See your local Comfort Style store in Margaret River, Collie, and Manjimup.
The huge Honda sale continues on selected models. You can pick up the 40th anniversary Accord, packed with a stunning list of features, plus free rego, CTP, and a 5-year warranty with roadside assist. Bag a big saving now at the huge Honda sale.
The modest pilot, who probably qualifies as America's most popular man, has been reunited with his most enduring fans on the US edition of 60 Minutes. Captain Sully Sullenberger has met many of the passengers who survived his famous emergency landing on New York's Hudson River.
Captain Sullenberger, his crew and many of the 150 passengers back together for the first time since their plane crashed into New York's Hudson River.
You are our hero. Yes,
Thank you.
The whole crew.
Sullenberger spoke of his shock when both engines stopped, but as the plane went down, trying to work out what to do next.
The only level, smooth place sufficiently large to land an airliner was the river.
As controlled as things were up front with the captain, at the rear of the plane, water flooded in and there was a desperate struggle to get out alive.
The water was just rising. You know, garbage cans were floating, coffee pots were floating like at this level and things were flying. It was crazy back there.
The experience he gathered as a former Air Force flyer and 30 years as a commercial pilot and instructor all came to the fore.
I think in many ways, as it turned out, my entire life up to that moment had been a preparation to handle that particular moment.
While back at home, the mountain of thank you mail is growing higher by the day.
Mr. Sullenberger, great job. I'd like to buy you a beer.
And as for the question many have asked, did he say a little prayer in those last few moments?
I would imagine somebody in back was taking care of that for me while I was flying the airplane.
Robert Penfold, 9 News, Los Angeles.
The long journey of a so-called toxic ship is finally over, with a retired French aircraft carrier finally accepted by a salvage yard in England. The Clemenceau is contaminated with 700 tonnes of asbestos, and she's been towed around the world for the last 5 years as the French Navy tried to have her recycled. An unusual offensive in China where the army has opened fire on the elements in an effort to break a severe drought. The soldiers are helping with a cloud seeding effort because crops are now failing from the country's worst drought in 50 years. A spectacular exit for a relic of the Cold War. With Berlin once surrounded by communist East Germany, this giant transmission tower was used for secure radio conversations with West Germany. Almost 20 years since Germany reunited, the demolition was long overdue. A veteran rock god and a country star have ended up creating the sweetest music of this year's Grammy Awards. Led Zeppelin's Robert Plant and Alison Krauss have won Album of the Year, one of their industry's biggest prizes.
It's music's turn to rock the red carpet for its version of the Oscars, the glamorous, the cool, teen idols and rock and roll legends. The Grammys are as much about the live acts than the awards, and tonight's theme was collaborations. Paul McCartney and Dave Grohl, the Jonas Brothers and Stevie Wonder, while Keith Urban played some classic soul for Justin Timberlake and Al Green. The theme continued for the awards. Robert Plant and Alison Krauss were the big winners with 5 Grammys, including Record and Album of the Year, for their groundbreaking rock country collaboration. While British quartet Coldplay won 3 awards, including Song of the Year for Viva La Vida.
Thank you and sorry to Sir Paul McCartney for blatantly recycling the Sgt. Pepper outfits.
The emotional note of the night belonged to Jennifer Hudson, who battled through her performance to a standing ovation. She was also awarded Best R&B Album.
I would like to thank my family in heaven and those who are here today.
Peter Stefanovic, 9 News, Los Angeles.
British heartthrob Orlando Bloom touched down in Sydney this morning on a Valentine's voyage to see his Aussie model girlfriend Miranda Kerr. The tabloids are predicting the actor will pop the question on Saturday, but Bloom wasn't giving anything away.
Hey Orlando, you got anything special planned for Valentine's?
Kerr is back home in Australia to promote the David Jones Autumn collection. We'll have sport after the break with the Waratahs team for their first Super 14 match, and Australia back on track with 2 to go against New Zealand.
He's a millionaire businessman, and the love of his life has been kidnapped.
What's going on? Where the hell is my wife?
She's not here.
Right from under their noses.
I have no contact with her.
Now, a race against time to save her life.
So we gotta travel.
With a deadly twist.
Just say yes to however much they want.
We don't want money.
What do they want? Flashpoint, Wednesday 9:30, afternoon, Mentalist on Win.
If today you've gone from this chair to this chair, before you get comfy in this chair, go for a walk. It's time to draw the line on gaining weight. For tips, visit our website.
Foods Homestyle marinades. Why cook when you can create?
You don't have to lose your shirt playing poker. Visit playapl.com to find a game at your local.
The powerful, efficient Big Aussie 6 in this Toyota Orion is identical to the one in this Orion. Same 200 kilowatt all-alloy engine. Same 6-speed sequential shift auto. Same 6 SRS airbags and anti-lock brakes. Same price too. The only difference is one is just down the road and the other is miles away. Northam and Meriden Toyota, a good deal closer.
One-day cricket moves to Adelaide tomorrow, another do-or-die game for Australia as we try to level the series against New Zealand. The Aussies won by 32 runs last night, despite the best efforts of Elliott and Fulton. The win was set up from the start thanks to our new opening partnership of Brad Haddin and Michael Clarke.
With Warner dropped and Sean Marsh out with hamstring problems, the new team of Haddin and Clarke gave the Aussies the start they were desperately seeking. The partnership was worth 135 runs, close to half the team's total.
Lovely shot.
So I spoke to both Brad and Michael after the game, and it just looked like they were so in control of things right from the start.
For the Kiwis, Brendan McCallum was his own worst enemy. He injured his shoulder during the Aussies' innings and was batting one-handed as New Zealand chased. The advice was to get treatment. Now McCallum is on the doubtful list.
He wasn't going to bat, and then he wasn't going to keep, and he just kept doing everything.
Down 2-0 in the best-of-5 series, the SCG showdown was a must-win game for the home team. So is the match in Adelaide tomorrow. And if it goes to a decider, Australia will also need to pull that off. It's been some time since they last won 3 in a row. Clinton Fletcher, 9 News.
The Waratahs have named a strong side for their first Super 14 match, with 11 players from last year's final starting against Wellington on Saturday. But Captain Phil Waugh isn't making any predictions.
Often everyone promises the world and under-delivers during the season, so you know, we're quite happy to go into it, I guess, a little bit underestimated.
Ben Moen will make his debut playing at blindside flanker. The Socceroos are in Yokohama preparing for the biggest game of their World Cup qualifying campaign against Japan on Wednesday. Even though the squad is made up almost entirely of overseas-based players, the devastation caused by the Victorian bushfires has hit home.
I'd just like to send my prayers and thoughts to everyone that's lost somebody in this difficult time.
Football Federation Australia is donating $100,000 to the victims. After the break, Jaynie Seal will tell us what tomorrow's weather will be like.
At Holden, we've been working hard to bring you incredible deals on all 08 plated vehicles. But you'd better be quick, because these deals are only while stocks last. So don't miss the chance to pick up a new Barina, now with the 4-star safety rating from $13,990 drive away. Or an Astra from $19,990 plus dealer delivery and government charges. We're putting more money back into your pocket at the time you need it most. So yes, times are a bit tough, but Australians and Holden are tougher.
With Select TV, you pay less for pay TV.
Enjoying it, are you?
Just $37.95 a month, installed free in your home. Call 1300 735 328 for pay TV with less to pay.
Red Hot Deals catalogue is out now at your local Comfort Style store. 20 pages of amazing furniture and bedding bargains, all at red hot prices. Plus, you pay nothing for 17 months. That's no deposit, no interest, and no repayments for 17 months. There's red hot deals on lounge suites, sofas, entertainment, dining suites, home office, bedroom, and bedding. Our stores are right across WA, or order online now. The Red Hot Deals catalogue on now at Comfort Style. See your local Comfort Style store in Margaret River, Collie, and Manjimup.
All Seasons Albany's rates start at $79.95 per room, includes new king, queen or twin beds, deluxe furnishings, wireless internet, LCD TVs, Foxtel and the best bar and grill in town. Call All Seasons Albany, 9841 1177.
How would you like to win a red hot ute?
A goat?
No, a ute.
A ute?
They just don't get it in America.
But with these Red Rooster Aussie favourites, you could win an ultimate Aussie prize. If it's got to be Aussie, it's got to be red.
Trust your local IGA for great value specials.
Yearling beef barbecue round steak, only $8.99 a kilo. And loose nectarines are a real treat at $3.99 a kilo. At your local IGA and Super IGA.
The weather now, and Jaynie, some showers about Sydney, but set to increase tomorrow?
Yeah, that's right, Peter. We may even get some good rain over the catchments. Right now, a few storm cells around the Hunter and Central Tablelands. We've seen 23 millimetres in 10 minutes for Bathurst with 76k winds. 2 centimetre hail was reported at Blackheath. And Sydney, the heaviest falls of over 10 millimetres have fallen in the northwestern suburbs, mainly around West Pennant Hills and Northmead. Well, the temperature might be around 18 or 19 degrees at the moment for most of Sydney. That is a complete contrast to what we have seen across the southeast. Melbourne, 46.4 degrees on Saturday. That is the hottest ever temperature for any capital city. Many records broken over the last fortnight or so in northern Victoria and also southern parts of New South Wales. Now, the change has cooled things down, but it is still hot in northern parts of New South Wales. 36 degrees for Burke and Coonamble just a short time ago. Now, the southerly winds behind the change have eased tonight for most of New South Wales, but still gusty in the northeastern corner of Victoria. Winds across that southeastern corner are set to increase tomorrow afternoon or evening up to around 50 to 60 kilometres an hour. Extreme fire dangers tomorrow for western parts of New South Wales and northern parts of Victoria. Rain has eased for most areas that are flood affected in the north. However, the monsoon trough will head northwards towards the end of the week with more heavy rain expected. And Ingham has now had 33 days straight of rain, their longest stretch in at least 40 years. Some late rain for Brisbane tomorrow. They're heading for 33 degrees. It will be mild in the southeast. And for Western Australia, extreme heat is moving in. Perth heading for 36 degrees. Sydney, showers will be increasing tomorrow. Southerly winds will be fresh, so for surfers quite messy at most beaches. There is a good chance of receiving around 20 millimetres at most places in Sydney tomorrow. That could hopefully include the catchment areas. 22 degrees for the city and up to 26 degrees for the west. Showers easing on Wednesday. Top temperatures in the low 20s for the city, and for the west we're looking at mid-20s and some pretty cool nights ahead. So a cool and cloudy day. Showers increasing, Peter. It looks like the heaviest falls tomorrow will be in our northern suburbs.
That is good news. Thank you, Jaynie. Now let's return to our lead story, the Victorian bushfires. And the death toll tonight stands at 130. Police fear, however, that with dozens of burned out homes still to be searched, that number could double. More than 30 fires are still burning across Victoria, including fresh outbreaks near the town of Kilmore. Residents in Churchill and Yakandanda and communities around Beechworth are also on high alert as rising winds bring renewed strength to a series of blazes. Army troops are now moving into the worst hit areas, clearing roads and beginning to search houses. Prime Minister Rudd has declared that any arsonist who deliberately started a fire is a mass murderer. And let's not forget the telethon this Thursday night, run by the Nine Network in conjunction with the Red Cross, called Australia Unites. The Victorian bushfire appeal will be hosted by Eddie Maguire. And that's where we'll leave our special bulletin of 9 News. We're on air again from 5 a.m. tomorrow, followed by the Today Show from 5:30. I'm Peter Overton. From all of us, good night.